So this 19-year-old girl, she ends up robbing a bunch of celebrities. Now the girl, her name's Rachel, and Rachel lives a nice, comfortable, upper middle class life, but for some reason, this life is not enough for her. She wants more. And so one day, Rachel and her best friend, this guy Nick's 18, Rachel and Nick, they decide, hey, let's cruise through some rich neighborhoods and break into some cars. So they do this and they get some decent stuff from it, but that's still not enough for Rachel. She still wants more. Now they live in the Los Angeles area in Calabasas, so they get this idea. They're like, hey, celebrities live around here. Why don't we rob some of their houses? They probably got some good stuff and we can look up where they live online. This is their plan. And so they go and choose their first victim, Paris Hilton. And one night, Rachel and Nick, they make their way over to Paris Hilton's house, and they're kind of nervous because they have no idea what they're actually doing. Luckily, Paris isn't home, and when Rachel and Nick get to the door, they discover that breaking in is going to be really easy because Paris actually left a key underneath the doormat. But even so, they don't even really need that key because Paris also left the door unlocked anyway. So they enter the house, walk around, go into her bedroom, go through all her things, and steal some designer bras, bottles of Grey Goose, and some cash from her safe, which Paris also left unlocked. After that, they just leave and they get away. The best part for Rachel and Nick is they don't get caught because either Paris didn't report that she was robbed or she just didn't notice. Either way, Rachel and Nick are like, hey, that was dope. We just got away with robbery. Rachel even puts Paris's spare key, which they found, on her own key ring, and later they actually used this key to rob Paris's house 4 more times over the next few months. Now, of course, because Rachel and Nick are 18 and 19 years old, they can't keep this a secret from their friends. They've got to flex, so they go around and start yapping to some of their homies. And now some of them want in on this action. So some of their friends start joining in here and there, and by now, Rachel and Nick are doing these robberies as often as they can, apparently stealing lots of luxury items and designer clothes that they wear when they're out with their friends. But here's the thing. These guys aren't career cat burglars, so it doesn't take long before they start to get sloppy. One night, they rob Paris Hilton's house again for the 4th time, and one of the friends in Rachel's group steals almost $2 million worth of jewelry from her. Of course, this time, Paris eventually notices, and she reports it to the police. On another night, the group actually breaks into reality TV star Audrina Patridge's place and takes $43,000 worth of stuff, a laptop, some jewelry, and stuff like that. But Audrina Patridge catches them on security camera. She posts that footage on her website so that people will see the burglars and hopefully be able to identify them and turn them in. Once she posts this footage to her website, TMZ and the local news stations pick up the story and run the video for everyone to see. But lucky for Rachel, no one recognizes them, and no one comes forward to turn her in. So the crew keeps going, and they rob Rachel Bilson's house like 6 different times over 2 months, taking over $130,000 in things. They rob Orlando Bloom's house and end up taking $500,000 worth of art and Rolexes. So these guys are going strong, and it seems like they might never get caught until the gang decides they're going to hit Lindsay Lohan's house. And this is where they screw up, because while they're at Lindsay Lohan's house, stealing a ton of whatever Lindsay Lohan has in her house, security cameras catch them again. I guess later, Lindsay Lohan notices all her stuff is missing, and she takes the security footage and gives it to the police. The police release that footage to the public. So now there are 2 videos of Rachel and her friends circulating around for everyone to see. Of course, this story makes the news again, and at some point, the media starts referring to Rachel, Nick, and her friends as the Bling Ring, which is kind of a cool name. One of the crazy things about this story is that when it hits the news and the public starts hearing about the Bling Ring, people are actually cheering them on. They're all rooting for the thieves to succeed because during this time, celebrity hate feels like it's at an all-time high. People see Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan on TV and just see them as spoiled little train wrecks, not as human beings who are having their privacy and personal property violated. So it feels like the general public just has no sympathy for these people getting robbed. Anyway, once this second security video goes public, that's when people start recognizing them. Rachel and Nick have bragged about these robberies at parties and in social settings so much that people start putting two and two together, and the police start getting tons of tips from people. Police already had suspicions about Rachel and Nick just because of all the rumors that have been flying around, as they just couldn't keep their mouths shut about it. So, anyway, bam, police go, and they arrest Nick, and he denies everything, but eventually he gives in and snitches on everyone else in their crew. And bam, one by one, they all get arrested. Poor Rachel. She's sentenced to 4 years in prison, and Nick is sentenced to 2 years in prison. Another guy gets 3 years, another woman gets 100 days in jail, and 3 others get sentenced to probation. Please subscribe. Thank you.